yours.
That's big time.
Minus 15.
Respect all, fear none.
Oh, did he belt that one?
Intensity is not a perfume.
It was a no-doubter.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The Orioles Hot Stove Show on MASN All Access is presented by your Baltimore area Toyota dealers. For legendary safety and reliability, choose Toyota, and let's go places. Hey everyone, I'm Brendan Mortensen. Welcome into the Orioles Hot Stove Show. Of course, the big news of the week is the O's acquisition of Corbin Burnes, one of the best pitchers in all of baseball, and we will get to that in this show, don't you worry. But first, some smaller news and notes to get to. The Orioles actually made a trade last night as well, not quite for a Cy Young winner, but a nice utility piece in Nick Maton. Spent his first few seasons of his career in Philly, 86 games between 2021 and 2022, a 764 OPS, hit 254 with a 109 OPS plus, and flashed in that 2022 season especially with an 855 OPS in 34 games. He was traded to Detroit in a Gregory Soto trade. Soto, of course, going over to the Phillies there, and then Maton really struggled in Detroit last year. 93 games, a 173 batting average with a 593 OPS, but he can play all over the diamond. Played in the infield primarily with the Tigers at shortstop, third base, and second base, but also played a lot of outfield in Philadelphia. So this is somebody with a lot of upside. He flashed it with the Phillies, wasn't able to put the pieces together last year, but maybe the Orioles can help him figure something out as we are a few weeks away here from spring training. And joining Maton at spring training will be some really exciting non-roster invitees. I mean, you look at the infielders. You've got the #1 overall prospect in all of baseball in Jackson Holliday. Kobe Mayo, a top 100 prospect as well. He's in the top 30. And then Connor Norby, have to imagine he's just outside of that top 100. All three of those guys flashed some really big numbers at AAA Norfolk. Excited to see what they can do at big league camp. You've got Samuel Basayo as well, one of the best catching prospects in all of baseball. He'll be at big league camp at just 19 years old. And then a couple of really exciting pitchers too, in Cade Bovich, Chase McDermott, and Justin Armbruster. All three of those guys should be at AAA Norfolk to start the year, and we could see them at the big league level at some point in 2024. But more than likely, they'll start down in the minors, and we just heard about the Orioles' new minor league coaching staff at AAA Norfolk. Buck Britton is going to be there. He is a mainstay, managed one of the best teams, if not the best team, in all of minor league baseball last year in the Norfolk Tides. Roberto Mercado gets a promotion up to AA Bowie. He took Aberdeen to the playoffs in 2022. And that year, he won the Orioles Award for the development. So that's great for Roberto Mercado there, getting the promotion up to AA Booty. And then Felipe Rojas Alou Jr. moves up to Aberdeen, replacing Mercado. He spent 16 years in the organization and has been the Delmarva manager for the last 2 seasons. So excited to see some promotions internally for the Orioles and some new minor league managers down on the farm. But as mentioned, the big storyline for the Orioles this week is the acquisition of 2021 NL Cy Young winner Corbin Burnes. Really changes the outlook for this Baltimore team in 2024. They now have an ace to hopefully help push them over the top in this, not only the division and the American League, but hopefully towards a World Series push. And they did give up a good bit to get Corbin Burnes. You got to give up good prospects to get somebody of that caliber, as we saw 2 top 100 prospects head to the Brewers in that deal in Joey Ortiz and DL Hall. So the Brewers get quite the haul for Burnes, but the Orioles, of course, getting something really, really excellent in return. And I took a look at what Burnes' acquisition means for Baltimore.
And with a standing ovation behind him, everybody tells you enjoy the moment in your big league debut, and few actually take the moment to soak it all in quite like that.
Adley Rutschman made his big league debut on May 21st of 2022. Baltimore had started that season just 16-24, and they wound up 83-79. Just 3 games outside of the final American League wildcard spot. The O's didn't have to worry about that wildcard last season, 101 wins and the best record in the American League. Adley's debut was far from the only reason for the O's success, but it just felt like a turning point. The rebuild was over. Adley, Gunnar, Bradish, the promise of the future, all of a sudden became the present. And last week, the Orioles traded for Corbin Burnes, your ace's favorite ace. After a 101-win season, falling short in the playoffs just wasn't good enough for this team. So they went out and got one of the best in the business to hopefully push them over the top. And like Adley's debut, it just feels like a new era of baseball in Baltimore. Gone are the days of playing it safe with prospects, prioritizing development over immediate results. The front office just sent a very clear message. Chips in. The Orioles are going for it in 2024. So let's talk about Corbin Burnes, the pitcher who was promised. The right-hander has been one of the best pitchers in baseball for the last 3 seasons. Last 3 years, averaging 31 starts per campaign, a .294 ERA, a whip under 1,000, and 226 strikeouts. Over that time frame, he ranks top 5 in innings, strikeouts, WAR, FIP, and SIERA. If you're looking at his StatCast page, you're going to find a bunch of red, which in this case only means stop if you're a hitter. You'll also find that his cutter had the best run value of any cutter in baseball last year, and also the year before that. The year before that, too, and you guessed it, the year before that. Point being, it's the best cutter in baseball. And Mike Elias is well aware of the kind of talent entering the building.
It was a big trade and I think a big addition and moment for our team. Corbin Burnes is exactly what we needed. Obviously, there were other starting pitchers that we pursued, but it's hard to have somebody higher than Corbin Burnes on your wish list, and it's a tremendous impact.
And he joins a rotation that already had a ton of upside. Kyle Bradish is now the presumed number 2. He was 4th in AL Cy Young voting last year with the 4th best ERA in the majors. That includes a .218 ERA in his last 19 starts. Grayson Rodriguez's upside has been well documented for a lot of years now, and he flashed it last season in a big way. A .226 ERA in his final dozen outings. John Means, don't forget about him, he gave you a .266 ERA in his 4 starts last year after coming back from Tommy John. And at your 5th spot, you've got some great options in guys like Dean Kramer and Tyler Wells. So for Burnes, there's a lot of reason for optimism.
It's an exciting team. If I'm going out there doing my job, those guys are going out there doing their job. It's going to create a lot of success and in a division that's obviously full of a lot of good baseball teams. They won the division last year, and I see no reason why we can't go out there and win the division again this year.
Now, Burnes has been very honest about the fact that free agency is something he's excited about earning at this stage of his career. He's got 1 year of team control left and could, in theory, only be in Baltimore for this season. The Orioles gave up 2 top 100 prospects to get him in Joey Ortiz and DL Hall, plus a pick that could turn into a prospect. So Baltimore made a statement.
He knows that we have a chance to do something special here in 2024, and ultimately this trade was about 2024.
That's a very different feeling than years past. A paradigm shift, much like Adley's debut. And now, Rutschman and Burnes, 2 players that have signified turning points of baseball in Baltimore, could form one of the best batteries in the game.
With Adley, he's great young talent. He proved it last year. He was a top prospect coming all the way up. Got to the big leagues, performed last year, and did really well. I've seen that. I saw that ballpark last year when the Orioles were coming down the stretch, and that place is packed out. And I've heard the atmosphere is unbelievable. So I'm looking forward to playing in that place and being there and having the long postseason run and seeing that place packed out and seeing the enthusiasm that I've heard you say is on social media. I'm looking forward to see it in person.
The Orioles Hot Stove Show on MASN All Access is presented by your Baltimore area Toyota dealers. For legendary safety and reliability, choose Toyota and let's go places. Well, in an Orioles system that has so many great shortstop prospects, somebody like Freddy Bencomo tends to get lost in the shuffle a little bit. He's still in the Orioles top 30, but down in the mid-20s range. Last year, in his age 20 season, spent it at Aberdeen and really finished the season strong. Last 15 games, he hit .318 with the Ironbirds. And if you've seen any of his off-season work on Twitter, you may have seen the hashtag Fredgendary. Here's a closer look at Freddy Bencomo.
Hi, my name is Freddy Bencomo. I'm from the Dominican Republic, and I'm infielder from Baltimore Orioles. I love baseball since I was a kid. My father was a baseball player, not professional, but he played softball, and he bring me to the field every Saturday. I think my contact hitting, I think that's my biggest strength. I need to keep working on that every day. I have to keep working my defense and my throw-ins and keep playing the game hard. I think the development, and they love to teach us every day to help us. I think that's the bigger thing. They are pretty good, and they know what they do. Cook. Cook every off day. I love to cook. In Spanish, we say arroz, habichuela y carne. That's rice and beans and chicken. But I think that's my biggest strength. I spend my time working what I have to go to work to get stronger, keep working on my defense, keep hitting baseball hard, and keep playing aggressive. This offseason will be one of my best offseason of my career.
Well, that'll do it for this week's edition of the Orioles Hot Stove Show here on MASN All Access. We're just a few weeks out from spring training. Make sure you're staying up to date with all of our off-season coverage on our MASN Orioles social pages and MASNsports.com. Big thanks to Bobby Blanco and Amy Jennings behind the scenes. I'm Brendan Nortonson, and we'll catch you next time.